a family gathering, my wealthy grandfather embraced me and announced, "Grandson, I trust you're making good use of your $7,000 monthly stipend." I was stunned and responded, "I'm juggling 3 jobs and haven't seen a dime." When I showed the bank records, every payment had been redirected to my sister since 2019. The room fell silent, but a call from the bank at 9:14 p.m. turned everything upside down. "My name is Owen. I'm 30. I'm the eldest child. I work 3 jobs. Mornings hauling crates at a warehouse. Afternoons repairing office furniture and HVAC systems for a property company. And nights delivering takeout because rent doesn't budge for single earners. I live in a small apartment above a nail salon next to a bus stop that groans all night. I keep a wrench set in my car and a spreadsheet on my phone labeled Survival. It has 4 sections: rent, groceries, fuel, and unexpected costs. Every month, the unexpected column takes the lead. My sister, Sabrina, is 27 and the golden child, like a plant placed in the sunniest spot. She's crafting a persona, Mom says. Her persona is soft-colored jackets and product reveal videos. She speaks in mantras. If she misses a payment, it's the universe's rhythm. If I'm late, I'm too stubborn to seek help. Grandfather is Arthur King. Yes, like the legend, and he's truly wealthy. He began with a single hardware shop and built a small fortune in rentals and storage facilities. He wears worn boots and a watch worth a sedan. Family dinners at his house were a study in contrasts. Paper napkins, fine crystal. Last Friday, we gathered for dinner at his place. A long table held roasted chicken and green beans drenched in butter. The cousins were there. Their kids were there. I arrived straight from the warehouse with grime under my nails no matter how hard I scrubbed. Grandfather hugged me at the entrance and said, loud enough for everyone, "Grandson, I hope you're enjoying your $7,000 monthly stipend." My mind stumbled. "My what, your stipend," he repeated as if discussing the forecast. "Started it in 2019 for you and Sabrina. $7,000 each, monthly, to give you a launch pad." I stood there clutching a dish I couldn't afford to prepare and forgot how to move my hands. I chuckled because my face didn't know what else to do. "I'm working 3 jobs," I said. "I've never seen a penny." Someone's spoon clattered. The sound echoed in my head. Mom turned from the kitchen, glaring like I'd disrupted a play. "Don't make a scene," she said. "Your grandfather wants a pleasant night." Sabrina cooed and touched grandfather's arm. "He knows how Owen is," she said gently like a caregiver. "He doesn't like accepting help." "I'd love help," I said too quickly. "I just never met it." Grandfather's brows slowly knitted together. "What do you mean you never met it?" I pulled out my phone. My banking app is a ledger of tiny sums. I opened an email from his trust I'd finally accessed last month after sifting through old accounts. I scrolled to payments. I handed him the phone. Every entry, monthly support. Beneficiary, O King, every transfer detail, routing updated per manager. Below that, a masked account ending in 4 digits I knew because I'd sent money there countless times. Sabrina's, I watched grandfather's face as he read. He's not a quick reader, he's a careful one. He looked at me. "Is this a prank?" "No," I said. "I've been buying tires with budget cereal. If this is a prank, it's very convincing." He set the phone down like it was burning. The table hushed, like a classroom when the principal enters unannounced. Mom reached for the phone, and I didn't let her have it. Sabrina smoothed her hair and said breezily, "I thought we weren't discussing finances tonight." "I thought we weren't redirecting," I said. My voice surprised me. It was steady. Grandfather stood. "Who changed the routing?" Mom said, "Arthur, sit. We're not doing this." "Sabrina," he said, not loudly, but the word hit like a stone. She raised her hands. "Okay, everyone, let's breathe. This was a mix-up. The manager said it was simpler if the family had one account." "What family?" I asked. "Us," she said, as if that word was a contract. Grandfather looked at me. "When did you find out?" 30 seconds ago, I said, then corrected myself because truth is a hard habit. "I suspected a month ago. I requested the records. They arrived today." The room felt like it was holding its breath before a storm. Little cousin Chloe whispered, "What's a stipend?" Her dad hushed her. Someone turned on the TV, muted as if baseball highlights could erase the tension. Dinner tried to resume. It didn't. I ate 2 green beans because my body was still pretending to be courteous. Each bite tasted like cardboard. At 9:14 p.m., my phone lit up with a number from the bank's area code. I almost ignored it, tired of noise. I answered, "Mr. King, this is Lydia from Franklin Trust. We're verifying a beneficiary change and an urgent wire transfer request on your family account. Do you approve?" "Stop!" I said, staring at my sister across the table, who was pretending to slice a pie that didn't need slicing. Tell me the name on the request. She did. It wasn't mine. Whatever was coming wasn't going to stay quiet. This didn't begin with a trust or a big number. It started with "for now." When I was 12, Sabrina took coins from my drawer for lip balm. Mom said she's figuring things out. When I asked for them back, Mom lectured me on generosity. At 16, I bought a beat-up Honda with cash from weekends at grandfather's storage yard. I changed my own oil and kept receipts in a tin because proof felt solid. Sabrina got Mom's old SUV at 17 because girls need protection. When she dented it 2 months later, Mom said, "Accidents happen." When I scuffed my bumper, Mom called me careless. College wasn't an option. I did 1 semester at a local school before life demanded more. I drove forklifts and learned how heavy a crate was by my spine's complaints. Sabrina sampled 3 majors, took a gap year to find herself, then started content creation, which is a career or not depending on whether you're her kin. Money in our house was like the weather. When Sabrina needed something, the skies cleared. When I did, I was told to bring a jacket. I remember the night in 2019 when grandfather took us to dinner and announced the stipends. A launch pad, he called it. So you don't break your bones on the first steps like I did. He looked proud saying it. Mom looked proud hearing it. Sabrina teared up and posted a picture captioned "Blessed." I went home and added a line to my survival spreadsheet called "If This Is True." I didn't enter a number because hoping aloud felt risky. The first month nothing came, I figured it was delayed. Second month nothing, third nothing, I texted Mom. "Hey, about grandfathers," she replied. "Don't pester him, he's busy." Also, Sabrina needs help with boxes. "Can you?" I moved the boxes. The trust sent quarterly updates about their work. I never got them because the manager had an old college email I hadn't used in years. Sabrina said, "I'll pass along anything important." Nothing important reached me. Meanwhile, my life was a calculator. Groceries after 9 p.m. for discounted meat. Oil changes at a buddy's garage. Shoes when the soles gave out. I took a second job because unexpected kept winning. Then a third because fuel prices acted like a monthly fee. I wasn't embarrassed. I was exhausted like it was a profession. Sabrina called me grindset like it was an insult. She'd wave a hand and say, "You could grow if you stopped thinking small." Then she'd ask me to cover her deposit because her influencer deal fell through. And Mom would say, "Oh, and be kind. Your sister's creating something for us all." I helped. I paid Aunt Diane's pharmacy bill when her card was declined. I sent Mom money for groceries. I transferred to Sabrina just until Friday, like Friday was a friend we'd meet. I told myself this was family. Then I went back to the warehouse and stacked crates that didn't care about my story. The first real hint came in April, a letter from Franklin Trust addressed to me, annual beneficiary verification. It said, "Confirm your details for your monthly payment." My payment. I called the number. A polite voice said, "You've been active since January 2019. I laughed and said, "Great, where is it?" She said, "The routing was changed by your family manager, Mrs. King, your mom, to a family account." My stomach sank so fast I had to sit. I thanked her and called Mom. "Hey," I said, "we need to discuss something practical." "I'm at yoga," she said, like that answered anything. "You redirected my stipend," I said. She sighed. "Redirected is such a harsh word." "Oh, and you didn't need it. You said you were fine. I put it where it could help most." "Help who?" "The family. Sabrina was starting out. You're steady." "And," I said, "and matters, it matters." I didn't agree. "It matters you didn't tell me." "You and your little rules," she said. "You're so inflexible." I hung up before I said something I couldn't take back. I called the trust again and asked for my current email to be updated. "We need approval from your manager," they said. "Or the grantor." Grantor is grandfather. I didn't call him that night. He was still the man who taught me to check oil and promised I wouldn't need to strain as he had. I wasn't ready to tell him his plan had been turned into a toll gate with my name on it. So I did what I do when I need courage later. I gathered evidence. I requested records. I checked my credit report. I dug through every old email I could access. I found messages, so many messages. Routing updated, streamlined now, family benefits. Notes from the manager cheerfully confirming changes I never saw. CC'd to Mom and Sabrina, never me. My name was in the subject lines like a label on a package I couldn't open. Meanwhile, Sabrina's online life looked like the stipend was thriving. New laptop, new phone, a trip tagged hash business but showing hash beach vibes. A post about hustle with a purse worth my rent. I stopped looking because I don't hate my sister, but I was starting to. Then the dinner happened. Grandfather's hug, the sentence that landed like a bill. Hope you're enjoying your $7,000 monthly stipend. The room quieted around my response. I showed him the record with the masked account. His lips tightened. After a few tasteless bites, my phone buzzed with the bank's number. The voice said, "We're verifying a beneficiary change and an urgent wire transfer request on your family account." I asked who. She said Sabrina's LLC, a name I knew from her invoices and a tote bag. Here's what no one else knew. The stipend wasn't the only thing grandfather set up. There was a maturity clause. On my 30th birthday last Tuesday, the principal of my share became available for a one-time payout if I requested it in writing. I hadn't requested it, someone else had. So when Lydia said, "Do you authorize a $250,000 wire to Sabrina's Social LLC?" I said, "No." Then, "Freeze anything tied to my SSN pending a fraud review." I looked up at my family, who were chatting about pie, and thought, if I keep treating this like a storm, I'll sink. Grandfather called a family meeting in his study, like we were in a TV show, not a slow wreck. Books, leather seats, an unlit fireplace. Mom sat with her arms folded. Sabrina scrolled her phone, notifications pinging. I stood because sitting makes me feel smaller than my words. Grandfather held the records I'd printed. "This shows," he tapped. "Every monthly payment listed as O King has gone to an account ending in 4187 since March 2019. Simplified management," Mom said, like she was addressing a board. "We used a family account. It was shared." "I wasn't shared," I said. "You were," she said. "You were just too busy to notice." Sabrina cut in. "And I tracked it," she said. "Rent when I started, gear, event travel. I didn't buy jewelry." Her shoes cost as much as a car payment. Grandfather turned to me. "Why didn't you say something sooner?" "Because of 1,000 tiny reasons that sound petty aloud. Because I didn't want to seem selfish. Because Mom made my voice feel like a trial where I was always guilty. Because I didn't want to be the issue. Because I was busy surviving." "I didn't know," I said. "Not fully. Until I did." He nodded once like a judge with the ruling ready. He called Lydia on speaker. "Cancel any beneficiary changes and reverse unauthorized wires," he said. "Effective now." Lydia was prompt. "We've paused the transfer. We need written confirmation from the grantor and beneficiary. We'll verify manager permissions." Mom leaned forward. "Arthur, don't be dramatic. This is family." "This is money," he said. "And money ruins most families." Sabrina's smile fractured. "You're shaming me over a mistake." "You've been shortchanging your brother monthly for 5 years," he said, voice steady. Mom tried one last angle. "Owen never asked for help. He's obstinate." I looked at grandfather, then Sabrina, then Mom, who taught me to save receipts like their vows. "I'm not asking," I said. "I'm drawing a line." Sabrina rolled her eyes. "Therapy talk?" "Adult talk," I said. "Here's the plain version. No more using my name, no more taking my funds, no more redirecting, no more family unless I'm in it." Grandfather nodded like a pendulum. "Sabrina, you'll repay every diverted payment from Owen's share," he said, "and provide a written breakdown of your spending. We'll decide if any counts as family costs. Hint, it doesn't." He turned to Mom. "You're no longer manager." "Effective now?" Mom paled like plaster. "You don't mean that." "I do," he said. "You forgot what the money was for." "And what was it for?" she snapped. "For a launch pad," he said. "Not for show." Sabrina's voice sharpened. "This is spite, not justice." I shook my head. "This isn't spite, this is resolution." The words felt like a latch closing. My hand stopped trembling. Grandfather asked, "Do you want the monthly payments, the principal, or both paused until you decide?" "Pause," I said. "I want to think like someone who isn't sinking." The room shifted. Mom left without slamming the door because grandfather hates that. Sabrina sent 3 rapid texts to someone, likely the person expecting the wire that wasn't coming. Grandfather touched my shoulder like he does before tightening a screw. "We'll fix this," he said. "Not perfect, right." "Perfect's been our issue," I said. He gave a half smile. "There you are." The next 48 hours were noisy. My phone was a drumbeat. "Mom, you shamed your sister in front of your grandfather." "Sabrina, you could have talked to me first." Mom again, "He's old. He doesn't get how money works now." "Sabrina, you're destroying my brand." Unknown number, confirming cancellation of wire to Sabrina Social LLC. "Aunt Ruth, I always said your mom was too soft with her cash." Cousin Mark. "Nice move. Don't tell anyone I said that." I muted everyone except grandfather, my boss, and the warehouse group chat where we share photos of weird crates. I took a long shower that didn't erase the numbers. I wore my best socks. I went to work. The toilets in Building C were cranky. Toilets don't care about inheritances. It was a relief. At lunch, I met a lawyer a friend suggested. Her name was Priya. She spoke in clear points. I gave her a pile. Records, emails, the bank's call log, a screenshot of Sabrina's LLC, the family account note with my name like it was permission. This is straightforward and messy, she said, flipping pages. Legally. Identity misuse, unauthorized transfers, violation of grantor intent, practically family. I don't want court, I said. I want a barrier. We can build one, she said. A demand letter for repayment to your account. A new trust manager, fraud alerts, a directive to the trust. No manager but you and the grantor, also passwords, change them everywhere. I followed her advice. New email, new bank. A credit lock so tight it probably sealed my old report cards. I removed my name from Mom's streaming accounts I'd somehow been paying for since 2020. I canceled a card charged for family Amazon, because sometimes resolution is freeing your wallet from a future you didn't choose. Grandfather hired a forensic accountant, a person whose job is to be a receipt in a suit. He sent a spreadsheet that would make a monk curse. Every month since March 2019, $7,000 listed under O King, sent to X4187. Notes. Brand costs, travel, office. Total, I sat down. I won't write the number because it's a player in this story and I don't want to give it more space. Sabrina sent an email with a PDF called Allocation. 4 pages of excuses. We covered Mom's HOA when she was short. We funded my business, which helps the family. Owen never asked. Last line, let's be mature and keep this civil. I forwarded it to Priya. She replied, we're mature. That's why it's documented. She sent Sabrina and Mom a letter with terms like misappropriation, restitution, fiduciary duty, and my favorite, cease. It wasn't rude. It was a barrier with a door labeled pay. I braced for the fallout. It came predictably. Mom, you're taking food from your sister's plate. Me, she's been eating off mine for 5 years. Mom, you're ungrateful. Me, for what? Mom, for the family we gave you. Me, the family I gave you. No reply. Sabrina tried another angle. Let's talk, no lawyers. We met at a cafe selling drinks with fancy names. She wore a white jacket and sunglasses indoors like she was avoiding bad angles. She started with tears. I didn't take, she said. I allocated. You took, I said, calm. You don't get how building a brand works, she said. You should be proud I put our name out there. My name, I said. You used my name. She wiped her eyes and switched to anger like changing a song. You love playing the victim, she said. You could have asked for rent money any time. I didn't want rent money, I said. I wanted my money. You're so limited, she said. Maybe, I said, but limited pays its own way. She stood. This is a war, she said. No, I said. This is math, Grandfather called that night. He sounded older than usual. I should have watched closer, he said. I thought I was helping. Instead, I sparked a fire and left. You were helping, I said. It just got repurposed. Your mom's out as manager, he said like he needed to hear it again. I'm hiring a professional. If you want monthly, it goes to you. If you want the principal, we'll do it properly. If you want neither, I won't mind. I want a boundary, I said. Then I want to think. Good, he said. Money's only trouble when it's hidden. The next week was rough but steadied because we paused. Sabrina's wire didn't go through. She posted a moody story. Some people hate your success. Her followers sent encouragement. She went live crying about family disloyalty. I didn't watch. A cousin sent a clip with LOL. I ignored it. Mom tried a final gesture. A family meeting at her house with a roast that tasted like childhood. I brought Priya on a video call. Mom didn't like it but kept going because she loves hosting. Priya laid out the numbers. We're requesting repayment of diverted funds to Owen's account. 30 days, she said. No penalties, no police, no court if you comply. Sabrina gave a hollow laugh. You can't get blood from a rock, she said. Priya didn't flinch. Good thing we're getting it from money. Mom tried tears. She's your sister, she said, as if I'd forgotten. I know, I said. That's why I'm not pressing charges. That's why I'm asking for a plan. That's why this is a boundary, not a spectacle. We left with no signatures, but everything changed. 2 days later, a transfer hit my new account labeled partial repayment. From Grandfather, not Sabrina. He texted, she'll pay me back. You're not my debt collector. You're my grandson. I cried on my kitchen floor into a towel for 10 minutes, like a movie character finally unclenching. Work felt lighter because I wasn't carrying 2 burdens in my head. I still had 3 jobs, but the load shifted. I said no to an extra shift, and my boss didn't fire me. I bought new boots because my old ones hurt my feet. I took a breath without numbers in it. There were still late-night texts, still family chat storms, still relatives treating gossip like a game, but I had a mental vault with a door now. It said mine. It's been 5 weeks. The professional manager is in place. Emails come to me with my name and mean me. The monthly payments are paused while I figure out who I am when I'm not running to stay still. The principal sits where it belongs, behind a process not under my sister's control. Sabrina and I exchange texts about mom and holidays. Sometimes she sends a jab. You made me look bad. I don't respond. Mom sends sunsets and forgiveness articles like gift cards. I like them. I don't open them. I wrote 5 rules and taped them inside my kitchen cupboard where the coffee lives. I don't send money I can't afford to lose. I don't let family mean taking my name. I don't explain numbers to people who prefer stories. I don't answer money questions by phone, email, or otherwise. I don't apologize for locks on doors that needed them. I read them aloud when I cook eggs. It feels foolish and powerful. Grandfather visited with a bag of screws and a look. We fixed 3 shaky chairs and 1 shaky thing between us. He said, I wanted you to have choices, not burdens. I wanted that too, I said. He tapped the table twice like he does when a job's done. Good, he said. If you want a lesson, it's simple and it works. Don't fund a story where you're the villain and the bank. Don't call a theft a mistake. Don't let a family banner hide a ledger. Build a barrier, keep a door, use both. This isn't about vengeance, it's about resolution. I'm still in the apartment above the nail salon. The bus still groans. I still carry a wrench set. But when my phone buzzes at 9:14 p.m., my pulse doesn't race. If the bank calls, I'm in control. If family calls, it goes to voicemail if the cupboard says so. I'm not the stipend. I'm not the bank. I'm the person who decides what I fund, with money, with time, with quiet. And for the first time in a long time, I'm fine.